You know it, it's time for episode 2 of Nevsky testings, and today it's all gonna be about, in my opinion, one of the most broken rallies in the game, and that is Chandragupta primary with Nevsky secondary. I will show you a bunch of reports and I will tell you why I think this is one of the best rallies in the entire game. Without further ado, let's go. Hello gamers and welcome back to Wick Gaming. Before beginning, I want to do something different. My girlfriend chose some of your comments from the previous testing video and I'm going to answer to them right here and right now. If you're not interested and you want to skip to the testing part, use the chapters I left in the description down below. Comment number 1 from Itzak. This is fun. Everybody, Nevsky. Mr. Wick, Nevsky. Oh man, I really need to thank my girlfriend for picking these comments. Comment number 2 from Wicho Mendes. Is no one going to tell him some legendary gear are talented and some are not talented? I will show on the screen what he's referring to. Yeah, well, you are right. 3 pieces had no special talent, but we tried to balance these with the garrison equipment. When we make equipment testings, it's nearly impossible to have the same statistics. Also because different troop types will have different equipments, and we all know that cavalry has a huge advantage on health. Anyway, thanks Wicho for your comment, I hope this explains it. Comment number 3 from Alexander Yudin. Your pronunciation of Nevsky is so incredibly close to the Russian pronunciation. Fun fact, and I think my girlfriend picked this comment because she knows the story, Sebo taught me that, the Russian leader of 1008, which now is in our kingdom. I confess it, I'm literally just obeying to Sebo's orders, because only God knows what an angry Russian guy can do to you if you disappoint him. My girlfriend was staring at me practicing Russian pronunciation over Discord. It was quite funny, actually. Well, Alexander, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. Comment number 4 from Rohit Mishra. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. My apologies if I didn't. Commander is usable from 5111 and everything after is a bonus all the way to expertise. What an OP commander. Well, I think that Nevsky is indeed an OP commander. Even if 5111 maybe is not the best choice, there is no AoE involved. And cavalry commander are not the tankiest commanders. Exception made, of course, for Attila, but it needs to be expertise as well to work properly and have the silence immunity. So I would actually prefer for you not to make this choice and maybe go for something else instead. Thank you, Rohit, for your comment. Comment number 5 from Serras... What? Serrasalmus. Any rally test needs to be done with reinforcements due to Zenobia's healing. She is getting her own reinforcements through healing while Zhang, Jadwiga or Amani are not getting any. If you reinforce the rally, you will get the same new troops coming in as Zeno being reinforced plus her healing, and then you can accurately say what works best. Without any reinforcements, Zeno always performs better than any other non-healing combo, therefore I don't think those tests are even remotely accurate. There are oh my god, I cannot pronounce your name. Thanks for your honest critique. You will see that Zeno does not perform better than any other combo in the next testings, but I really appreciate your point, and you're right. Your point actually makes sense, and at the same time it doesn't. Zeno's healing is part of her skills, like Nevsky's super high damage factor. It's like saying that open field marches with healing like Richard will be better. We all know it's not the case. Then you should not even test, for example, Richard against Guan Yu in open field. Every march has its strengths and weaknesses, and you cannot say that without reinforcements the results are not accurate. Even with the most active alliance in the game, it's nearly impossible to coordinate that type of testing. Swarm rally plus swarm garrison plus rally plus garrison plus reinforcements on both sides, and it also needs to be very well coordinated in timing to be an accurate testing. For that type of testing, I mean only the real KVKs and Osiris will tell the result. Ideally, in KVK every rally and garrison is always filled up to maximum, so the healing does not really play that big of a role in my opinion. It's more all the health that makes Zeno so strong. But anyway, thanks for your comment. I hope my point, my idea at least, is clear, and I love these type of critiques. Please keep them coming. Comment number 6. A known user writes, thanks Mr. Wick. So you suggest to use Nevsky primary? Would you mind to compare Nevsky XY and XY Nevsky in open field, or Nevsky William and Nevsky Mina? Thanks a lot. First of all, thank you for your comment, unknown user, and for being here. I've seen a lot of comments asking to test out Nevsky as secondary commander. At the end, I was one of the people saying that his 4th skill, which is activable by any active skill, could be a great advantage if Nevsky were to be a secondary commander. So he should logically work better as secondary commander, and in most of the cases, my answer is yes, with a very few exceptions. Last time we tested on a 1 million troop capacity building, the Shrine of Life in Ark of Osiris. There is a reason for that choice. 1 million troops with 1 million units swarming, 3 marches with 50% expansion, will make the battle very short, and because of this detail, we have always noticed with our previous testings that there is almost no difference. It seems weird, I know, but today I will show you testings on 1.5 million buildings capacity with the inverted commander order, and you will be able to see practically what I mean. You will notice a better result with the correct commander order, of course, if the battle is very long and there are a lot of reinforcements. In that case, even 5% statistics over time can make a good difference. The choice of using Nevsky as primary commander was made because we could have a full top equipment on both sides for every combo we used in that single practice round, without having to test 10 different times. You cannot swap equipments in Osiris practice once you enter, even if I really wish we could. Anyway, we always tend in OV to start with the inverted order, because no one does that. At the end you will anyway get the result you need, and chances are I will post multiple videos like I have done for many other commanders, Harald, Pakal, Amanitori. In fact, a very good example is when Pakal came out, and I was the first and only one testing him as primary to Harald. While everyone was saying Harald would perform better as primary, if you check the comments on that video, you will see quite a bit of them, like you saw in the previous video with Nevsky. And now everyone is using Pakal primary, except maybe in Osiris, where sometimes you see Harald primary because you don't care about the trade and you care more about the speed in killing the enemy's troops. But I'm digressing. Maybe this is not a comparable example because Pakal had a defense tree and Nevsky has a useless versatility tree, but this is not the only reason. I also think that some pairings will be better off with Nevsky primary. For example, I will take your assist and explain this. Minamoto secondary to Nevsky. He has way more skill damage factor than Nevsky does, and all of the additional damage over time will be also increased by 2 talents and 2 skill effects. Clarity on the skill tree, which increases skill damage after using an active skill. Latent power, because Minamoto deals DOT or damage over time thanks to the expertise skill. Then Nevsky's 4th skill enhancing by another 35% the skill damage of Minamoto, and Minamoto's 4th skill that can trigger extra 30% damage taken by the enemy. Considering all the damage factor Minamoto can trigger, it's 1400 plus 600 plus 600, so 2600, well above Nevsky's active skill, and also much more enhanced by all the said effects when they line up together, of course. Sometimes you need to make important choices. This combo would have certainly underperformed if Minamoto were to be a primary commander in my testing. Same thing for XY. We made a choice. Since we have used Feral Nature among Nevsky's talents, which you can see on the screen, and the rally was swarmed, and we know that swarm equals to a ton of extra rage, we were actually afraid that XY's skill cycle would be too short for Nevsky's 4th skill cooldown, at least 30-40% of the time, of course depending on the luck. And that can happen, so we made a choice. Another reason to keep the skill cycle 100 rage points longer, 950 instead of 850 if Zhang Yu were to be a primary commander. And of course all the rest was tested with Nevsky primary because we could not just swap equipments around, and here's why we picked the 1 million building instead of the 1.5 million building. Shorter battle, less consequences from this choice. Over time we have experimented so many things that I just go for it and I don't think about it anymore. I want to remember anyway that the testing in Ark practice can be only that much close to reality, but at the end the true battlefield is KVK and Ark of Osiris. Even with the most active alliances, as I said before, you cannot have people reinforcing both rally and garrisons, swarming and filling the rally. I think the cities will not even fit in the circle of the obelisk. Anyway, dear unknown user, sorry for the long answer, but I take your concerns seriously and I wanted to explain the reasoning behind the first testing video. Comment number 7 from South Stream. You should test Jadwiga Nevsky as garrison before saying it smashes her. You're right, and I will. We have not explored the garrison possibilities with Nevsky yet, and I thank you a lot for the precious suggestion. I will for sure test it out. Final comment. Let's see. This is from Bean77. Sad to see this channel going so commercial. Sponsors really needed or just fishing more and more money? Tough one. I really need to tell my girlfriend to pick different comments next time. So last video was sponsored. Hence the comment, I guess. Dear Bean, I am very sad you think it this way. I am making less and less video on the channel. I'm trying to publish only the best quality videos I can. I do not make daily content. My ad revenue on YouTube is not nearly as good as you may think in proportion to the time I spend making videos. Sponsorships for me help the channel focus on quality instead of quantity. You can always skip them if you don't like them. That is why there are always chapters like in this video, and one sponsorship helps me make up for the amount of time that my testing videos require. I have been very open and transparent about my earnings on YouTube in a video a few months ago, I guess. Even if you have a job, you don't go around telling people how much you earn every single month. But let me show you something. This single rage video, the rage breakdown that probably you know about, took away from me around 150 hours, I calculated, between testing, researching, planning, compiling the data, and everything around it. Do you know how much I earned from that video? 140 euros, which as of today is $158. That's about roughly $1 per hour, not including all the gems I spent for the testings, the electricity, and etc. Let's not go there. Of course, not every video is like that, but I could definitely have made a different choice as a content creator and review a few events in the game, make the same amount of views or even more, gain more revenue, and mostly save a ton of time. Analysis videos like mine not always perform well. This is not my job, but I try to do my best for our community. I think though that if you do have a job, you don't work for free. That's where sponsors are very important in my opinion for the health of a small channel like mine. They give me the financial freedom to focus on less projects, the ones I really care about, and at the same time not worrying about the YouTube revenue if the video happens to underperform. So I don't drive away from a project that I really think it can be fun. I have a story for you. A very famous gaming company, a very, very famous gaming company, which I will not reveal, otherwise I'll get sued 100%, wanted me to promote their game. After the first draft of the advertisement segment, they asked me to add a few more seconds to promote a new in-game bundle, which by the way I thought was a ripoff, but they were paying me a lot of money for this sponsorship. Really, a lot. And I said, no, sorry. I called my agent, she found a contractual reason to rescind the already signed contract, and I said goodbye. I will never promote anything unless I think it's fine to try it out and it's a good thing. And you're always free to skip the sponsor part anyway. And that's it for the Q&A. Let's finally take a look at the testings. Who did not directly skip to this part? You're literally a hero. Who skipped here? It's fine, it was just some blah blah blah. Chandragupta and Nevsky, probably the best combo with this commander. Here we go with the first test. Let's establish a baseline. So for the first rally, there will be no swarm. Zenobia and YSS will defend with full infantry and just a small portion of archers to grant YSS the extra buff for 2 troop types. This on the screen is the defender equipment. The Vengeance has been chosen because of the swarm later to give the garrison a big counterattack advantage. Same story for the coin, which I have explained in other videos will increase its chances to activate when you're swarmed. This is the rally equipment. As you can see, it's quite balanced with the garrison, we cannot really get precise to the single point. This is the talent tree I'm using on Chandragupta, and please forgive me if I will not show you the talents of the garrison because it's Osiris League information. Just know that the talent tree of the garrison is not optimal for 1v1 rally, so a solo rally against a solo garrison, but it's great when the garrison gets swarmed, and we will see later. The rally won soundly. More than 50% troops remaining, almost double sevs, but that's not extremely relevant in a non-reinforced situation. Now against Jadwiga and YSS. Full cavalry with a small portion of infantry for the same reason of before. The rally wins again, almost 50% troops remaining, more than double sevs. Yes, I will try Jadwiga and Nevsky in another video, don't worry. This is our baseline. We don't even try archers because they just get demolished. Now we start with the swarming tests. We will be using the same 2 marches all fully equipped to swarm the rally and the garrison. Guan Yu and Harald and Nibu and YSG. to start. I have to say that the marches attacking the garrison have worse equipments compared to the ones attacking the rally, so the rally is even at disadvantage now. Hey, if you're enjoying, please consider supporting the channel by leaving a like and subscribing. It's 100% free and you can always change your mind later. Anyway, Chandragupta wins soundly. We try this again, but this time we use 3 open field marches. We are adding Zhang Yu and William. William, thanks to his active skill, will be able to hard counter all the skill damage bonus of Nevsky, so it's important that you swarm any Nevsky you see with at least 1 or 2 Williams. Attacked troops' extra skill damage from buffs cannot take effect. We discarded the first attempt for 2 reasons. First, Guan Yu was late to swarm the rally, and second, Nibu was in the AoE range of my marches and got smashed very early. We repeated the same test. This time the coordination went better. We still won, but we were left with 135,000 troops instead of over 400,000. That's a huge difference. I checked the battle log and William really made a difference with his debuff. We did it one more time, this time using William primary and Takeda secondary to debuff both the normal attacks and the skill damage, just to see how this would influence the outcome, but basically the final result was the same. We tried now against Jadwiga, which notoriously can handle the swarms pretty well, and the result was similar to Zenobia, very similar. With Nevsky primary for some reasons, which I don't know about, Jadwiga YSS was performing worse against the rally. I need to test more this aspect. Now we add one more march, Trajan and Edelfled. I am using Trajan and Edelfled, my friend Doc is using Edelfled and Trajan, because I had no equipment on Trajan and he had no equipment on Edelfled, so we just inverted them. In the first attempt, the Guan got caught in the AoE, we won by a lot, so we tested again. This position, as you can see now, is much better, and in fact you can see the result. A better positioning sometimes makes a lot of difference when you're swarming a structure or a rally. We still won, but we struggled. We were left with barely 20,000 troops, but we won. What I find very impressive is that Chandra and Nevsky, at least from our early comparisons, and also comparing to other creators testing this commander, handles much better the swarm compared to Zhang Yu and Nevsky. I really think Chandra and Nevsky might become meta in the next KVK and Osiris seasons, or even in this one, who knows. Again, swarm is the key against cavalry. If you see cavalry, just swarm. But here I see that the swarm is handled very well. XY and Chandra would have never been able to hold 4 marches, swarm and win against the garrison. We tested that so many times and that was always the case. And I want to underline that the marches swarming the obelisk, even having the same commanders of the marches swarming the rally, had a lower level equipment, and Zenobia had the perfect talent trees for swarmed garrisons. This test really was putting the rally in a very difficult position, and I am extremely surprised with the results, even more compared to when I was testing Pakal and Harald or Zhang Yu and Chandragupta. About the open field, I think Nevsky will not really be as relevant as he is in a rally scenario, but I will still make sure to test him out and publish the results. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed, please remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao!